Okay, we've been talking about gender inequality. I think it's very important for us to take a good look at where this actually started from. We're all talking about it today, but if you ask me, it started somewhere. And that will take us to look at the past, starting with our fathers, with our forefathers. Where did it start from? I recall that in those days, male children are actually given some sort of priority over the female kids around. And in very subtle ways, but very profound ways as well. Because if you want to go to school at that time, of course, the preference is given to the male child. By the way, I didn't meet that, but I'm talking about our fathers and our forefathers. And you find out that that trickled down even to this very generation. So you want to go to school, a male kid is given priority because they believe that a female child should actually be at home learning how to cook, because she will end up in the kitchen anyway. And there's no reason to actually waste money. Those were the words then, to waste money on female kids. Again, also, growing up, you also find out that you'll find a male kid that wants to, for whatever reason, be in the kitchen, maybe to help mommy out, and you still find the father saying, "What are you doing in the kitchen? Leave that place. The kitchen is not meant for the boys." So, from that young age, that boy believes that he doesn't have any reason to do certain things from that age. So, of course, when he grows up, is he likely to do anything differently from that? So I'm just trying to trace it to where some of this actually started from, because when we talk globally, it's good to also bring it locally in our own context, our own culture. How does it relate with this particular topic that we all talk about? So that's basically it in terms of how it actually started. But today, is it the same thing? The reality is that things have since changed. Things are a lot better. You can't compare then and now, because a lot of professions that you never find a woman today is heavily even dominated with women. You talk about a lot of female engineers today. You talk about female pilots today. Before now, you won't even find that. So even in the boardroom, before now, you won't see many women. At best, you'll find one. But today, all of that is fast changing. I won't say we've totally eradicated it, but I'm saying it's a lot better if you compare where we were before and where we are now. Of course, for us to take it even further, we all then have a role to play. All of us, and that is where the inclusion comes in. So it's not just about female gender or male, but we're talking about inclusion from the point of view of giving equal rights, equal responsibility, equal opportunities, without looking at is he a male or female? Not at all. And that is where we all come into play. If I say no, then I won't be correct. Even though it's in a very subtle manner, but yes, it is. It's still about discrimination. We shouldn't be. I want to believe that things are better, though it's still there, particularly in some sectors that we can all relate with. So this is my experience. So I actually applied for a job somewhere, and this is a multinational. It's a multinational. I applied for a job, and I went through the series of stages, and I got to the last stage. We all know it that when we get to the point they're telling you, you can now go for your medicals. At least you'll be happy that it means you got the job. But they called me to say, okay, I need to see the senior management before I finally go for the medicals and start. I did that. I met the team. In my mind, I believe I did a good job and I'll be starting job soon. And so I left the place and waiting for the letter of employment and waiting for the details to go for medicals. It never came. And I was wondering, but I did well. But I got comments after that I did very well, I'll be joining soon. But the letter didn't come. Well, of course, I felt bad about it because I was already looking forward to joining. But it never came. After about 10 months or thereabout, I got a call from them that you can now go for your medicals. And I was wondering, where did these people wake up from? But they've forgotten about me, you know, and all that. And then I joined. But because I was really interested, I wanted to know. I was having a conversation with one of the senior managers that I, met at that time. And probably he didn't know the impact of what he said. So, and he said to me, of course you would have joined, but at that time, one of us actually picked it that you're pregnant. And we had a long debate about it. We didn't want to carry that liability because when you come in, you will have to start dealing with, you will go for antenatal, and beyond that, when you also resume, you will also go for, what do we call it again? You also go for maternity leave and all that, which will mean you will be off work for like 2-3 months, and yet I'll be paid because that's what it is. And that's just the reason why I couldn't start at that time. I honestly felt very bad, but I'm sure I didn't know, the impact that made. The only good thing was that, yes, I enjoyed my career with them. But that singular act told me that, hey, there's still discrimination in a subtle way, whichever way you want to look at it. Should it be so? I mean, should I go through that just because I'm carrying a pregnancy so if I have a male counterpart, what will happen? He will get the job. We shouldn't be. So those are some of the things we are talking about that shouldn't be, that we're addressing today. I know in some sectors still today, when they are doing the recruitment process, they are so checking such things. So is this, are you single, are you married? They will also want to find out even where you are. All of that are the things we need to guard against now that shouldn't be. However, permit me to speak to a very, very important issue, which is the issue of mindset. We also need to play our part as the female folk in this conversation. Are we packing everything under inequality, or we are addressing the parts that also concerns us? Because half the time we have that mindset, don't let me go for it. It's only guys that are there. Oh, this job is meant for guys. Oh, I can't cope. There's no need. They will only give it to the guys. No. These are all about mindset, which we need to change. Because today, I know many organizations are giving women that opportunity, that equal platform to succeed. All you need to do is to put in your own very best in whatever it is that you do. Please, if there's anything you're going to be taking away from this conversation today, is please, that mindset of, oh, this job is for this person, that job, I can't get there, this one, I can't get it, or I can't even rise to this level. We need to remove that from our mindset. It's now a function of what we do thereafter. I was talking to a colleague this morning. You come late to work all the time. Anytime you blame it on, oh, I have to take care of my kids this morning, I have to take my kid to this, I have to take care of the home front. If you're talking to a manager and the manager needs to recruit another person in the team, most likely he will think twice, because he will say, oh, even this lady that I have in my team, she's always having one excuse or the other about the home front. So let me go for the guys. Again, it shouldn't be, but we need to play our part, not to leave room for such conversation. So, for me, what helps me in my career? And when I reflect, two things that I know is my major driving force. And permit me to take a quote from the Bible that says that whatever your hand findeth to do, do it well. That's what the Bible says. And it says, show me a man that is diligent in his ways. He will not dine with me men. I'm sure we know the rest of that. So please, whatever it is that your hand findeth to do, do it well. Do it well. And in that, at no time, you will see that you start to rise in your career. People want, people that can perform. These days, nobody is looking at is a man or is a woman. You just want somebody that can deliver. You want somebody that can perform. That is not to mean that you are perfect. That is not to mean that once in a while you will not have, instances where you need to take maybe off for one reason or the other. But I believe that whoever you're reporting to is also reasonable. It's not every time. So they will understand with you. But when it becomes, the norm, when it becomes the usual excuse, of course, then you start to think, do I really want more female in my team? We shouldn't be. So again, don't let us leave room for such comments as women. Let's put in all our best in anything at all that we are doing. Secondly, drive for excellence. Whatever it is that you do, drive for excellence. Put in all your best. Put in all your best. And then, like they say, leave the rest for God. Came to my mind, speaking to myself, is that I'll say, learn to believe in yourself. Most times as women, we don't believe in ourselves. That is where men folks are different, and we need to stand up to that. Even when you find a guy that is not even so sure of what he wants to say, let's start with something as simple as you are in a meeting, the question is asked. The guys will not even wait for you. This guy might not even know it. That's the truth. But they want to be the first to, lend a voice to whatever is being discussed. And a woman might be in that meeting that actually have the answer to whatever it is that they are discussing. But our usual nature, am I saying the right thing? Will I get it right? Will they make fun of me? Will they laugh at me? We start to look at all those things that most times guys don't think of all of that. They just go ahead and speak. So let's learn to believe in ourselves, because inside of you, everything you need to succeed, believe me, you have it already. Everything that you need to succeed, you have it in you. So it's just for you to go ahead and get it done. Secondly, I talked about excellence. No matter the task, the role, the responsibility that you are given to do, put in your very best. There's no half measure. It won't take you anywhere. But when you put in all your best, definitely you'll see the results. You will see the result sooner or later. So always put in your best. And one last thing I'll tell myself, you remember what I'm speaking to is a 25-year-old girl like myself when I was 25. If I'm to speak, what would I say? The last thing that is very key that we don't do today, and I'm appealing to you women out there, learn to give yourself a pat on the back. We hardly do, because as we are thinking of work, my boss gave me this to do, I need to deliver on this is my target, and all of that. You close that chapter, you get home. Oh, my kids. Oh, my husband. He needs to have this. I need to get that for him. He won't do it well. I have to do it for him. All of that, we forget ourselves. And we must define it for ourselves. That look, at some point, I need to give myself a pat on the back. And for us women, there are different ways we can give ourselves a pat on the back. It doesn't have to be a very expensive venture. It can be spa outing. It can be, because the part I love most, shopping. It can be shopping. It's a very good therapy. So just give yourself, it can even be just, outing, just go for a dinner somewhere, just do something different. You can start by telling yourself, okay, once in a quarter, this is what I'll do to give myself a pat on the back. You must do that. I didn't do that early, but I can guarantee you, I've started that. I've started. And it's one of my KPIs for myself this year. And I can say I'm doing well. I'm doing well. So far, so good. Because I'm also rating myself. And thanks to my kid, because they also help me. They say, Mommy, go out, just go and enjoy yourself. You're always working and working and working. Go and enjoy yourself. So I think I'm listening to them more. You need to be proactive if you want to have some, at least, good balance. And I'll take a very good example of what we do in UP. There are so many aspects of our jobs that we already know when it happens. And I'll take a typical example of our budget period. We all know that it happens every October. And we know that it's usually very intense. So what do? In my team, for example, we start from July. Because we know we need to collect data, we need to analyze the data and all of that. We need to engage our clients specifically on that. So we start well ahead of time. So that by the time finance is sending out invites, we are already far ahead. We are probably just revising at that time. And that's the only way we've been able to stay ahead of the game for years now. So let's try as much as possible to be proactive in whatever we do. That will help us not to be under pressure, because you can imagine if we are also going to start when everybody is starting, of course you'll be under pressure. Then we won't sleep well, we will even need to work very late, and once that starts to happen, it starts to affect everything, both at home and at work. So please try as much as possible to be proactive in whatever you do. It helps. It helps. So I would then want to speak to our men folks around. We need your help. We can't do this alone. I was telling one of my colleagues just today that there is no way I can talk about my career, my little success that I can talk about now, without talking about my husband, Titi Olubiyi. It's late now, but I will continually talk about it. There's no way I can talk about my career without talking about him, because he really, really supported me when I'll come back from work and we're sharing roles. He doesn't believe this role is meant for a man and this role is meant for a woman. Every step of the way, he will assist. Once we get home, I'm taking care of the kids, even when our kids were quite young, and I'm also studying for my master's. I'll be taking care of the kids, he'll be in the kitchen cooking. At times, I'll be cooking, he'll be taking care of the kids. And when we finish all of that, he will say, okay, fine, let me sit with you and you start studying for your exams, because I was also running my master's. So we need each other. That's just what I'm trying to say. So we need each other. Let's help one another, not just at home, but also even in the workplace. If you see a female colleague struggling in one thing or the other, let's learn to help, rather than saying, oh, is a female, that's why did they give her the job in the first place? No, let's learn to help each other. That is where the inclusion is coming in. All those things that we're talking about, inclusion, starts with that. So it's not about is a man or is a woman, but who can do the job. Let everybody have equal opportunities, equal rights, and respect for one another. It's very, very important. So please, our men, we agree we can't do it alone. Let's help each other. And I know that the world will actually be a better place if we can do that. I'd like to end this by sending special greetings to a man that brought all of us together, to a man that believes so much in all of us, a man that has given us, all of us, a platform to fly, a man that doesn't believe in gender, but believes in who can add value, who can deliver. And I'm speaking about our group MD CEO, Dr. Agada Apochi. Also, of course, special love to all the UP amazing, that's what I call them, amazing in UP. For all that we do, I want to say, let's keep up the good work. We are all doing well. I can say that it's part of giving ourselves that pat on the back. We are all doing well. So wherever you are, can you look at the next female next to you and say, we are doing well. We are all doing well. So let's keep up the very good work. But I want to end by saying that every woman's success that we see is an inspiration to another woman. So know that a woman, either in UP or out of UP, is watching you. Yes, is watching you, and you as well. Yes, a woman somewhere is watching you. So let's make all effort to keep inspiring one another. So on that note, I'd like to say Happy International Women's Day this year. Love to all of you, and God bless. Thank you.